there. Okay, so we're gonna have weather in here for the next few days. So please report your area on the link that I posted, and keep us all informed. Boyd is in, and I'm in. I guess it's just you and me, Boyd. The voting, you cannot vote today or tomorrow or Monday. You got to vote Tuesday, which is where I'm going to be. I'll be doing live broadcast Tuesday from the Azle Courthouse, or City Hall, whatever you call it. I'm going to get there about 5 or 5:30 in the morning. If you're wondering about my hat, it is from the USS Fort Worth. It is an active ship. It's a Freedom Class combat ship. Several of the military people on that boat right now are in our group and may be listening right now. So to all of our military, first responders, anybody that gets up and puts on a uniform, I don't care if you're the dog catcher, we appreciate you. And you don't hear that near about enough, not from me or anybody else, I don't imagine. So I'm going to try to correct that this year, starting today. Anybody that puts on a uniform, military, police, fire, first responders, we love you and we support you. And you need to hear that a lot more from us, and you don't. Okay, so we've got we still got about 30 days to gather up our stuff for the Larry's Kids giveaway this year, which is December 14th. I just inked the contract about 3 o'clock this morning and forwarded it on to the facilities people at Fort Worth ISD. We're locked in forever. We just, every year, it's protocol, we have to do the paperwork. So we're in. December 14th, Farrington Field. The gates will open somewhere between 6:30 and 7:30. It just depends on how quickly we can get our volunteers set up and ready to go. There'll be a lot of new volunteers this year, and I appreciate that. If you've never been to one of these events, it's a moving experience. Bring a handkerchief or some Kleenex. There's no dry eyes in that giveaway. We don't require the people that are coming to receive something, we don't require you fill out anything. You don't fill out a thing. You just have to be in the car and be in line, and when those gates open, everybody that comes through gets a bike, a helmet, and a toy or two. We don't know how many. We're going to hit our goal of 1,200, so we need 1,200 families. I need lots of volunteers. Like I say, once you've been to one of them, I don't have to worry about selling you the next year, because you'll know how important it is. I'm gonna tell people, I had a guy ask me yesterday on the interview on a radio, iHeartRadio. We did a little plug about Larry's Kids and why I do what I do. I'll just give you a short background. People that know me know my history. Up until 1985, I was kind of a bad actor. Wasn't kind, I was. I collected for bookmakers. I was a bookmaker. Both sides of my family have been in the wrong side of the law business, let's put it that way. I never really had a childhood. I was on the streets at 12 or 14 years old. Asked for a bike when I was 16 and got a broken jaw. I learned never to ask again. There's all kinds of cases like that still today, and I can tell you from experience, kids are scared to report it or ask somebody. In my case, in Smithfield, okay, so I'm going to go to the sheriff. Hell, the sheriff comes over to the house and drinks Jack Black with my dad. That ain't going to work out too good. So, I made a decision at some point, I guess about 16 and a half, because he broke my jaw in June of when I was 16, and I decided I was going to stand up for my mom and other people in the house, and I wasn't going to take it anymore. So that's when I started fighting back. I fought 9 years in the Golden Gloves. I was well experienced because from age 16 or 17, I fought my father at least twice a week. I'm talking about a knockdown, drag out battle. And that lasted until my mom divorced him and run him out of the house. So, this horror story, when I was on the highway, Jacksboro Highway at 16, 15, there was 7 other children there from different families where their background was the same as mine. I'm the only one left of all of those people. I kept up with them. Most of them never made it to be 20 years old. So yeah, this bike drive is important to me. If we can make one day in a family's life, because not only are those children affected, their parent, usually the mother who brings them, are also affected in a good way. That's the problem with our world today, is we don't help each other. It's all about me, me, me. I know. I used to be that way too. I used to wake up every morning figuring out who I had to go hurt to collect their gambling debt that day. I didn't give a damn. If it was the second visit, my standard answer was, here's your options. You're either going to give me something to give to them, or you're going to the hospital. And I had people fight back. I always won. I had a drive and a determination, because I was never given anything. Everything I've ever had, I earned it one way or another. So it's important that we work together to make a day happier for families of underprivileged children here in Tarrant County. We can be a beacon of light to our state, to the country, to the world. Give from your heart. This is my 38th year. It's hard to believe in 2 more years I've been doing this 40 years. And the first one or the 5th one or the 13th one, I can see them in my mind like it was today. Myself and y'all, which y'all it was back in the days, we've given away over 18,000 bikes. The lowest year was 205, And really, I cheated on that. It was 185. I just couldn't come to tell people that it was below 200. Back in those days, I didn't have the internet. All I had was my detail shop customers, my friends, and the car dealers. So I had to work a lot harder. I had to actually go out, and I would park at Jack Williams, which was at University and 30, right here where I'm at now. I would go in and talk to Mr. Williams, walk across the street, talk to King Charlie Hillard, walk several blocks down 7th Street and talk to Bill and David McDavid, Bill McKay. I'd have to get in the car and go over and to talk to Jimmy Worthy at Forest Park Chrysler Plymouth, Dub Shaw Ford. Then I'd get down on Lancaster and go hit all of the used car guys. J.C. Fletcher, Danny Sides, all of those people. And we serviced a lot of people, a lot of kids. So we're down to the wire here with the election, with our giveaway, and I need your help. There's a lot of people that are listening right now that I haven't seen anything. And I get reports from our comptroller, the money that comes in from the internet, from the website, the money that's mailed in, I see every bit of it. And it's great, but it's not enough. There's no way we're going to hit the bikes. There's no question we're going to hit the bikes. In fact, I thank our comptroller. I asked her for an updated deal. I hated to send her a message this early, but here we go. And our comptroller is Lindsay McGuire, great lady. Sending a quick update as we close out October and head into this weekend. We have ordered 600 bikes from Academy. We will owe Academy $44,544.60. Total received donations as of 11/1/24 are $25,351.23. Anticipated donations are $21,250. These are all donations that I know are going to come in. I know every one of these people. So, which would put us at a total of $46,751.23. So that's going to put us about $2,000 over after we pay for the 600 bikes. We're ready to pay whenever. We're waiting on Academy to build the bikes. They're getting close on the first 300. So, okay, let's do the math. So that puts us at 600 bikes. We've got Fort Worth Fire Department. They always give 50. Cops for Kids, the police department, 50. So that puts us at 700 bikes. The International Aerospace and Machinists Union usually comes up with 125. We're going to put them at 100. That gives us 800 bikes. We're getting real close to the biggest giveaway I've ever had, which was in 1989. I gave away 840 bikes. Quincy and his, the people that do business with Fred's Texas, they always come up with about 75. So we're going to put them in at 75. That's 875. I got 50 right here, right now. That puts us at 925. I've got a gentleman coming that's bringing 4. We've got a group coming out of Canada with 30. They had a problem. They were supposed to have already been here. They sent me the paperwork. The trucking company, they lost the bikes or something. So that group in Ottawa has rented a vehicle. Now these bikes aren't built, so it's a box truck, I'm sure. They're going to drive those down next Friday. They'll be here Saturday or Sunday. Tom Reynolds is bringing more. There's a lot of y'all. I'm just trying to give y'all an updated account. So 925, just say 900, 1,000, 1,100. We need 300 bikes. I'm giving you a state of the union of Larry's kids. So keep that number in your mind. We need 300 bikes. Some people will say, well, you got a couple of thousand extra, go buy some. We're done buying bikes with the money that's in the bank or coming in. I'm dependent on the masses, the 130,000 active members, the 195,000 active members on all of my groups. The money that comes in, we're going to buy helmets. Lindsay, our comptroller, is trying to get the best deal we can. You can forget trying to talk to Walmart. That there's nobody that returns a call. You can't get anything done. If anybody knows anybody with Dick's Sporting Goods or a sporting goods store, we need those helmets to be less than $20. And we're willing to pony up and buy 700-800 right now. Brittany, I know you are, sweetheart. You're doing a great job. This is not to try to put anybody down or anything. I'm just telling you where we're at. I'm on a mission and it's going to happen. I don't care what I have to do. So we're going to find somebody to sell us those helmets, I hope at $10. So 10 would be 100, 100 would be 1,000. If we get the bank back up to $7,000, we can buy 700 helmets. We've got to give these kids a helmet with that back. It's really more important to have the helmet than it is to have a toy to go with it. But for you folks that have got a couple of $100 in your pocket, go to 5 and below or 5 and under. I never do know what that real name is. You can buy these soccer balls, footballs, basketballs, $5 each. Go buy 40 of those balls and bring them to me. So my idea is when the car pulls up, we're putting a bike in it, we pitch a soccer ball in there, a basketball, whatever, then hand them another toy and put a helmet with the bike. That's a big Christmas. Besides whatever else they're going to get. And in some cases, they won't get anything. Every year, we have to have air tanks, cans of gasoline, jumper cables. Some of these cars won't make it through the line. So, if you're tired of hearing this story, you're going to hear it every day until December 13th. Because there's nothing more important to me than accomplishing our goal, which I set our goal at 1,200 January 1st. Kyle and the board kind of thought we'd be around 1,000. To hell with 1,000. We're going to help 1,200 families, and I'm going to tell you something. There's many times over that 1,200 families right here in Tarrant County that are under the poverty line. They're our kids. You can argue with me till you're blue in the face, but you ain't going to win that battle. These kids in Tarrant County are our kids. Now we can either step up and try to help them just one day out of a year. And believe me, I go back to my background. Christmas is nothing. Hopefully not a fist fight with my dad on Christmas. But I got smart. I got a baseball bat and whittled it down, and it was a billy club. And he was a bully. I still love my dad. He's been in the grave for more years than he was alive. And so what that taught me as a youngster is everybody on both sides of my family were in the gangster business. So shit, I joined the group. And then the 80s rolled around. Got shot in the back by one of my own guys. I laid up in Peter Smith Hospital for a long time learning how to walk. I wondered why the Lord left me and would take youngsters with cancer. And I'm living it. I'm doing it every day, every year. This is my mission in life. Nothing else is more important to me. So I need your help. Before I start tearing up, we're eating at McAllister's today at 1 on Camp Bowie, 6333. Next Saturday, we're going to eat at Clown Burger over in Haltom City. If you know a restaurant that needs some help, let's get our group going. I mean, if 20 or 30 people show up and eat hamburgers or sandwiches today and soup, that helps our community out. The quicker we all start helping each other and quit being so divided, the better off we're going to be. Because there's people out there in other countries that want to kill us. Boyd, you can... are you in Fort Worth or are you out of town? I was going to say you can come by the museum any day. Tarrant County. Oh, we're in the weather alert, you know. You can call me, Boyd, at 817. Brittany, put my phone number up. 817-965-2626. And also, something else I want to talk about. This museum needs donations. Arizona. Can I ask you a question? Why does it take y'all 3 or 4 weeks to count the ballots out there? I mean, I've already asked that question on Google and to people. There's my phone number, Boyd. I said, are we going to know Tuesday night? No, hell no, Larry. Pennsylvania's already said that it's going to be 3 or 4 days at the least. Arizona's already said it's going to be several weeks. Why is that? I mean, y'all can't get enough volunteers. I mean, what's the deal? And I'm not on you, Boyd. I'm just asking. Don't y'all raise a bunch of hell out there? Why are we not knowing? God, I mean, that's so frustrating. Y'all remember the hanging Chad in Florida? That was months, I think. Finally, John Kerry did the correct thing. Well, I say he did the correct thing. I don't know if it's the correct thing. He was a Democrat running against George Bush. He said, yeah, that's what I figured. John Kerry, and I commend him for this, not everything he's done. He said he had all these war medals from Vietnam, and I don't know if that ever got accomplished. But anyway, he stood up and said, I'm not putting the country through this. I'll give in. Bush wins. If that were to happen today, we'd be in a civil war. Just because what you think personally about what matters to you and what I think about what matters to me. Thank you, Brittany. We can still be friends. We don't have. I actually had a lady that I didn't see it, but on one of the posts, and it was not on Memories. It was on one of our other groups where you can talk about politics. And somebody told me they saw a comment from somebody that said, "You just lost $3,400 and something dollars for 50 bikes because you're conservative." That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. If that's all you got, then I got thick skin. Hey, by the time I was 20 years old, I could take anything. Nothing scared me, and still doesn't scare me. So, the main thing is this. You know how excited you are when you got your driver's license, your first apartment, you went off to college, your first house, your first car. Well, that's the same feeling I'm sure that children have with their bike. Like I say, I don't know because I never had one. And I wanted one so bad. So when I was laying in the hospital on a morphine drip, and I thought I was tough. I told that doctor, I said, I don't want to be on this. I can't feel my feet. And he said, well, we have to leave you on it until you heal more. I said, sir, it's my body. Take me off. Boy, in less than 10 minutes, I'm pushing that button. Get me back on this stuff. So, help us out with this. I don't know what I have to do to get you to get motivated to do something. Call your friends up and say, hey, let's go out that Mattel toy store over there on Meacham Boulevard. Toys are 50% off, and Mattel's a good toy. And if you're military, it's 60% off. Make a day out of it. Say, hey, let's go do lunch, but first let's go buy some stuff for Larry's kids. I promise you, it'll make your heart feel better. And that's what it's all about. I was listening to, every morning I get up and listen, while I'm getting ready, I listen to different entertainers, singers, and Whitney Houston, it was that mix with Whitney, and she was fixing to sing a song, and she said, tonight is about the children. And she said, it's music and children. She said, because if they have music in their heart, they have love in their heart, and that's what we need. And she's correct. We're selfish. We spend so much money on so much stuff that we don't need. And I honestly don't think that everybody listening to me on whatever platform, I'm on about 7 or 8 right now, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, I think that most of y'all don't think that children live that way. Well, that's good. That's good, David. There's families that live day to day. These children don't get to choose their parents. And I've heard people tell me over the years, well, the parents should have gone to college. They should have done this, should have done. To hell with all of that. They either didn't, whatever happened, COVID came, they lost their job. They just lost their job. I don't know what the circumstance. But when you come to one of my giveaways, you don't have to fill out nothing. We don't even ask you your name. These children are going to be running our city, state, country in a few years. And let me remind all of y'all, we're children too, we're just older children. You know how good you feel when, ladies or men, either one, when your wife makes you your favorite food in the evening, you go send flowers to your wife, your girlfriend, whatever. You know how that makes you feel. We need to make that same feeling happen to a bunch of children. So come December 14th, there's going to be about 1,200 vehicles over there at Farrington Field anticipating bikes, helmets, and toys. It's up to us. People say, well, Larry, you're asking for a lot. On one group, I've got 131,000 people. How's that asking a lot? If every single member would give $5, we'd have 3,000 bikes. I know times are tough. I just filled up my gas tank. It holds 50 gallons. It's a diesel. What was my bill? $160 to fill up my truck. That lasts barely a week, sometimes a little longer. I've got a pretty set routine. So, whatever I have to do to get somebody to help give, just tell me what I need to do. As long as it's legal, I'm in. One of our board members, or really not even a board member, a good friend of mine called me and said, hey Larry, our office is over here in Euless, but we meet over at Sammy's or somewhere in Fort Worth for lunch one Saturday out of the month. We'll give 20 or 30 bikes if you'll come over and tell stories. And I said, just tell me, where do I need to be? Whatever I need to do is what I'm going to do. So I've told you the state, we've had people join since I'm going to give you all a state of the union of our finances. And again, thanks to Lindsay McGuire, she is our comptroller. She says, sending a quick update as we close out October and head into the weekend. We have ordered 600 bikes from Academy. We owe Academy $44,544.60. There's no tax because we're a nonprofit. The total received donations as of 11/1 yesterday, $25,351.23. Anticipated donations, $21,250. That is people that's pledged it not to just the board, but to me. And I know it's coming. I know every one of these people. Robbie Baker, Sid Richardson Foundation, Lance Bird, Jeff Schusler, Tim Love. I know them all. They're going to pony up. So that puts us at a total of $46,751.23. So we got a couple of thousand over. We've got to buy helmets. We cannot give a kid a bike and put him out on the street without a helmet. And we need toys. So we need more David Martinez's, more Brittany's, more Lindsay McGuire. We need all of y'all. I had a lady that saw me at Walmart in Azle yesterday. I had to stop and get Peppo's food. She said, "Are you Larry?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Well, I'm up here. I come to this store every other week, twice a month, and buy my stuff, and I want to help. But you know how much this stuff costs?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And I said, "That's all right. She's retired. She's on a Social Security check." She said, "No, I want you to, are you already finished shopping?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am. I got 2 jugs of bird food." She said, "Well, I'm going to go up here and check out. I want you to be behind me." And she paid with cash, and she had $7.31 left. And she said, "That's for your kids." If everybody that listens to this give me $7.31, we don't have no problems. But it's the people that listen to me. So here's my challenge to everybody that's listening. Of course, y'all are already up and moving around. I normally do this challenge about 4 a.m. so that when you get up and you go brush your teeth, fix your face, all of that, standing in front of the mirror, you remember I asked you if you'd help me. And you know you can do something. And if you don't, then it's not on me anymore. It's on you. So you live with it. because I've been living with it all my life. I'll be here till about 11:30. We're eating at McAllister's, 6333 Camp Bowie. I hope we have a peaceful election. Don't forget what I said to everybody. Just because my views or your views or anybody's views aren't the same on how the country should be run, that should not come into conflict with we're both human beings and we should both love each other. We should be more trying to unify than divide. And believe me, my opinion only, all of these politicians are crooks. Not one side or the other, they're all crooks. It's just which is the better crook you want to get in bed with, because that's what we're doing. I know how much gas was to put in my tank 5 years ago, and it wasn't $156 or $160. I know how much stuff was at the store. My bird's food, and he's going to outlive me and probably all of my kids, and my youngest is 16. They live to be 150, and he's 36 this January 5th. When 5 years ago that food was $7.87 at Walmart. Yesterday it was $16.44 a jug. It's the same food. Now you tell me. Okay, I love all of you. Boyd, they posted my phone number, call me. But we need everybody giving. I don't care what it is. We just need, we got to get busy. We got December 1st is when I like to have, where are we at? Well, we're 28 days from there. And every day, every hour that goes by, I lose a bike. Yeah. Trent, let me write your number down, or your name. Trent Sam Baker. Okay, and don't forget the museum desperately needs donations. Let me talk about that for a minute. Every day I try to educate our listeners to the history of Fort Worth and Tarrant County. I've got the largest classroom in the state. All of y'all. We've got a wonderful museum over here, full of stuff that's one-of-a-kind stuff. I spent over $4 million in 44 years collecting Fort Worth and Tarrant County one-of-a-kind stuff. The train master control that ran the M&O subway and the Tandy subway, it's right here. It's not at the M&O Museum, which is not around anymore. All this one-of-a-kind stuff that I just couldn't let it go. Had to have it. So, help out the museum also. People are trying to come visit the museum. The museum is full of bikes, balls, toys. I stack it to the ceiling, so but you're more than welcome to come as long as I'm not detailing anything. Leave me a donation and kind of walk around and look at the stuff. It's amazing. But I need your help. These kids, they're our kids. We want happy kids out there. Because I tell you, these kids, the peer pressure on them is you got to do drugs, you got to do this fentanyl. It just makes me sick. Spread the word. Yes. Okay. I gotta go. I will talk to y'all. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to leave here about 11:30. Love all of you.